What up everyone, it's your ManXman87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends video, and what I have for you today is the Marvel Legends Maximum Series Spider-Man figure review. Before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's go! Alright, so I'm not a box person. I usually chuck it. Boxes are garbage to me. I'm not gonna make space for garbage, but I really do like this packaging. It's a really nice box. Got Spider-Man right there nicely posed up. Says Maximum Series. I'm really feeling the red comic panel. That's dope. I wish it was kind of like a metallic red foil. That would have made the box pop out, but you know, either way, it still looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks really nice. All the accessories laid out and all that. So normally when I do traditional reviews, I don't normally take it out of the box on video. I like to take my time and study it, so I'm well prepped for a detailed review. But I like to think that most of my viewers value my trusted opinion, whether or not I review a figure with prep time or on the fly, since I've been doing this for a long time already. I wanted to do things a little differently so I can take you on the journey with me and you can hear the genuine reaction, good or bad, as I open this. And this is a play-along video more so than a review. So I'll just film this, then afterwards I'll spend some time with it for a few days before I record my final thoughts in the wrap-up portion at the end of the video. And yeah, nicely laid out right here. I like the accessories already. You know, here it is, Maximum Spider-Man. I know you guys have been waiting on this video from me, so I really like how all the accessories are laid out. Look at that, man. Bunch of hands. This I'm most excited for out of all the hands, having the you know, the web shooter cartridge exposed and all that. You know, that's different. I like that. Bunch of different new hand gestures. You know, the web shield, other web effects. Yeah, that's just dope, man. But yeah, you know, look guys, I know I'm behind on content. I apologize. Life has been taking a toll on me lately, so you know, I'm gonna try to pick it up from here. And I know everyone has their reviews out on this guy already, and the smoke has pretty much died down with all the freaking, you know, all the toxicity towards this. And look, man, if you find me praising this and you want to call me a shill, go right ahead. I do not care. Like I said, I just show for good action figures. I don't show for companies, so I don't care if it's Hasbro, Mattel, Mezco. If it's a good action figure, I will praise it. If it's bad, you know, I will voice my displeasure. Simple as that. And honestly, what am I gonna say that's already been said? That it's $50 is too expensive? You know what I mean? Like, I heard that enough already, you know? Of course, I don't think it's worth $50. It shouldn't be $50. So, I know what I'm looking for. And for the $50 price point, I'm looking for it to be the greatest Marvel Legends Spider-Man of all time. And that's what I'm looking for. Because for $50, it better be the best Marvel Legends Spider-Man. And let me get a feel for this first, and you know, copping a feel on this guy. Pause. All right. So right away, like, feels good on hand. Right away. I haven't even moved it yet, besides the shoulders you just saw me, and I like the aesthetics. I really like the aesthetics on this guy already. Very very McFarlane like physique, and yeah, man. I know what I'm looking for this guy. He better be the most articulated Spider-Man. He better have a full split. Oh my god, for $50, he better have a full split, because that's the one thing I've always been critical on Spider-Man figures, is him not having a full split. You know, I stood away from reviews for the most part, and oh man, this elbow is really stiff. I'm already experiencing some gumminess. So yeah, QC's definitely inspecting that. I want this guy to be really good, especially paint. I did see some paint QCs on some. So far, my guy is looking good right now. And I'm definitely going to pose this guy up, so I don't think I'm going to do like a full articulation. Well, I'm kind of doing the my articulation portion of the video like right here. And, but it's just like breaking the figure in. Joints feel good so far. Something about the arm already, I can experience a little bit of gumminess, like I said. All right, here's what I wanted to see: the full split. It better happen. I've seen some white stances, but I've never seen someone do this. And holy shit! It's not a dedicated full split, but certainly better than any Marvel Legends Spider-Man so far. Is it a traditional full split? As I said, no, I don't think so, because it's gotta be, come on, man, for $50, they could have done it. I know they widen up the hips to give them more flexibility, but what was the point of doing that if you're going to go through all that to not give them a full split? You know? I don't get it. But again, it's so much better than what we've gotten in the past. Where's my Renew Your Vows? I know I got them here. Is it better? I know it's better than Renew Your Vows. Yeah. See that? Yeah. Way better. So I'm not going to go crazy here in this video doing a bunch of comparisons. If you're looking for that, I'm not your guy in this video. I know, I've dealt with so many Spider-Man figures that I know what to expect. Again, I know what I'm looking for, and I don't have the Mafex version anymore, so I couldn't compare it anyway, but obviously I dabbled with that figure a lot, so, you know, I remember what it was like to handle that figure. Honestly, guys, you know, I was hyped for this figure. Yeah, the price sucks. Like, it put me off. I don't know, man. With Spider-Man, I will say that, look, don't get me wrong. I love Spider-Man. I love the Spider-Man figures because I collect all the suits, but I have been super critical with them. I just want to say that I'm kind of Spider-Man'd out. And you know, maybe I don't get excited anymore for Spider-Man figures like I used to because I just have like thousands of them and they always end up the same shit every time. So for me, like when I get like a ROM, like that gets me more hyped than a Spider-Man. You know, characters we never got in Marvel Legends before. Like that ROM is amazing. Dragon Man, you know, well, he technically had a Marvel Legends before, but you know what I mean. It wasn't really technically the Marvel Legends banner. It was like the sister line, Fantastic Four series, but whatever. It was Toy Biz, and honestly, if it was under Marvel Legends packaging, it would have ended up being the same figure anyway. But you know what I'm talking about. Like, those figures excite me more than a Spider-Man now, and look at the ab crunch on this guy. Could have been a little bit better, but because I like those overhead leg... Oh, damn! Alright. Yeah, this I could already tell is better than the Mafex in terms of the range flexibility you could get there. Because look how he could crouch with the leg over the shoulder type of pose. Oh my god, yeah. That's what I like. That's what I like to see. So you can work a full split. There is a workaround. So just by doing that, just moving the legs up like that, boom. Yeah, you'll get his butt right where his dick is, but you know, it is a workaround. So that is a good thing. I can work with that. That I can work with. So now if I plant it on the surface, you can see it's straight. All right, you know, that's doable. It may not look natural, but again, it is a workaround. Maybe if I go like this. Yeah, if I go like this and then turn the thigh over to the side like that. That is the workaround. That, you know what? I'll take that. I will take that. All right, yeah. you know, you got to be a good poser when handling these figures. You got to be real creative. Again, this is just me on the fly inspecting the figure, so you get to, you know, hear my first impressions. Oh, this is McFarlane physique to the T, but I will say, god damn, yo, his feet are freaking huge. Holy crap. Dude, his feet are... Whoa. Yo. Hey, hold on. Let me bring in Renew Your Vows. Yeah, just like Renew Your Vows. That was one of the problems I had with that figure, was that figure... Whew, the feet are big. Way too big. That's one thing with Marvel Legends, man. People talk about, you know, oh, sometimes they come with oversized hands or their hands are too big. It's weird with Marvel Legends, man. Sometimes they'll have really, really big feet or really, really small feet. They're long, bro. They're like longer than his freaking head. That's anatomically incorrect. Wow. Okay. That's probably the only flaw with proportions. But other than that, man, yeah, I like this ball jointed neck. Yeah, it sucks that it's $50, but again, like I said, what do you want me to say? That's already been said. Like, everything's expensive nowadays, man. Everything is expensive nowadays. And this is the forearm swivel, so we could swap these out. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I already know. I'm going to pose the hell out of this. But the paint on mine, freaking spot on. No complaints. Like, I don't see anything that's off. Okay, alright. I hate this. Who did this? Was it Dwight? I can't stand this. Why? Oh, man. This was... The back was fine to fit the entire spider. And, like, why do they have to paint the front legs of the spider onto the shoulders? That looks awful. That looks freaking awful. Because it's supposed to curve in this way, but it's going straight. And it's just out of alignment. No, they should have just kept it as is like this. Yes, even if it's cut off a little bit, or at least minimize the spider a little bit. That is not a good look. Everything else, man, I like the new sculpt, you know? I like the fact that we get freaking wrinkled seams on it finally, which Renew Your Vows only had it like on his butt right there. But you get it multiple areas, like on his back, you know, lower back, the hips right here. And I want to say a little bit on the knees. Yeah, the knee area right there. And oh, yeah, that looks great. Let's take a look at the head right here. It is great. I know some people complain that the lenses are too far apart. But honestly, man, I've been reading comics of Spider-Man my entire life. And it's always inconsistent. It's always inconsistent, you know. You get it many times where it's, you know, far apart or too close. So this doesn't bother me at all. But the paint deco here, you know, it's very McFarlane-like with the thin webbing that's close and tight together. I like how curly and loopy it is. It's not, you know, it's not flat. Like this one, Renew Your Vows, it feels flat, not curly and loopy enough. So... this is so much better. I like the spider logo right here on the front. Damn, man. I love McFarlane Spider-Man. This is my Spider-Man. This is my Spider-Man. So, we can swap out the head. The heads are like super tight to swap. This is the alternate head, which has a slight wink to it. Like the right side right here has a lot more black filled in. Yeah, he has kind of like that smart-ass Spider-Man look. I do like it, though. We got a third head, which is Peter Parker. And I know there's a lot of people that don't like this head sculpt. And honestly, it's kind of growing on me because it's very close to McFarlane. His hairstyle always changed between artworks a lot for McFarlane. So, pretty good. The one thing I will say as far as articulation is the crunch. I wish he got more. I wish he got just a little bit more. It's not bad, but I wish he got a little bit more. And that belt just extends like that. So I wish he was on a double diaphragm joint. Well, it is a double diaphragm joint, but instead of the inverted ab crunch in the middle, I just wish they went for the ball jointed waist. If it could, you know, articulate well. Because Hasbro's weak at doing double ball pegs, man. But it would have been nice to get that extra pivoting on the side, because this is good, but a little bit more would have been great. So you saw his fist. He comes with a pair of these wall crawling hands, and then he has the gripping hands to hold his webs. Then he also has a set of flipping hands with different hand gestures. So the right hand has this pinky curl to it, and then the other hand has his fingers curled kind of upwards. So I do like that they're different. And also these, which are really, really nice. I do like these. The ones that flip out the web, I had to put them in a cool pose, you know what I mean? I just like the fact that he's got web effects that shoot through the wrist. This is something I've always wanted Marvel Legends to do, and it looks cool. I like that it's like starting up, and you know, I just like it. I like it. I like little things like that, man. It's the little things that make me happy. And then if we switch this up, the forearm swivel right here, we just pop that out. That feels funny. I don't like the feel already when popping that. All right, it's got somewhat of a... Nah, it doesn't really pop, but... oh, man, I love this. I love this. I remember when I made my video about Marvel Legends coming out with a premium deluxe line before they even revealed the Maximum series. This is one of the things I wanted to see, and I'm glad that they did it. Damn, this is so nice. I really like that. Yeah, it sucks that, you know, the wrists are not articulate, but, you know, it's pre-sculpted. I get it. You know, they all wanted to make it look seamless. I don't mind it. But the one thing I wanted most in Marvel Legends was the spider sense effect. Like, this should have been standard, honestly. It shouldn't have taken 2025 for this to come out. So let me see how this works. I'm guessing you just place it like that. Just kind of, yeah. Oh my god, that looks so good. The translucency over the red. Oh, that just looks so good. Maybe the blue background just makes it pop out more. But damn, I love it. I love it. You know, I like when Mezco did theirs, and I was just always like, man, how come Marvel Legends never did a spider sense effect? It's just part of the character, man. The webbing effects, you got these web strands, 2 web strands. They're very flaccid. I don't know why they didn't go for bendy wire like the Mafex one. I think this, well, Mafex or Mezco, I forgot this web strand, but yeah, man, if you're gonna make it like this, you might as well make it bendy wire, especially for $50. Come on now, you know. We get this web effect, which is really nice. I like how the web strand right here curls and loops around the one that's going straight. I like projectiles. Web projectiles, that's one thing. I know people are crazy big on hands for Spider-Man. They want more hands than anything. But for me, I'm like, you know, Peter Parker's a genius. I'm looking more for creativity behind the webbing effects. That's what I need, you know. Don't get me wrong, I need hands. I'll never complain about hands, but I'm always looking for the creativity. And one of my favorite things is the web shield. Oh man, when Mezco got theirs, I literally bought it off of a friend who was selling the web shield. I bought it off of them, so like that, the web parachute, they did some crazy good creative accessories, and I like the way they did this with the overspray here. I wouldn't say fully translucent, but it's like translucent with a mix of white, almost. I don't want to say like a pearl. Well, this has a pearl hue to it, the web strand. This one a little more translucent than anything. This one, you know, the overspray, it's got a paint job to it. It is nice. Man, the one thing I will say, I hate the flip to clip system. I hate it. Oh man, I hate it. It's like this thing's gonna be, this thing's is bound to freaking break already. But oh man. Oh man. Oh man, I love the web shield. I freaking love it. Oh, hell yeah, I wanted this web shield so bad. I got him in that pose, which reminds me of when he was in the X-Men Operation Zero Tolerance storyline against Bastion, and he was taking a projectile. I think it was against Bastion or one of his Prime Sentinels. You could just, oh, yeah, that is just perfect. It's freaking perfect. I love it. The very last accessory to cover here is a webbing impact effect, and I've always wanted a web impact effect for Spider-Man. However, it didn't come out right. It ended up looking like... I didn't ask for Mary Jane's backshot special effect here, bro. Like, freaking straight up spider sperm. Spider sperm, gonna knock up all your girls. Yeah, bro, this thing is gonna impregnate my Mary Jane on the shelf. I'm gonna be the first collector to have a pregnant Mary Jane figure, and when that happens, I promise you I'll bring you a review. But yeah, it could have looked a lot better. Just way better. Maybe something to spread out. You know, like a little like web splash, kind of like this, but like that is, you know, I don't know, man. It just could have looked a lot better than this. You plug it through the stand. The stand has 2 hinges. Very it feels very cheap. It does. I'm not gonna lie. Like this whole thing warps when you try to bend this thing back. So it's just not a good feel, but it does get the job done for however you want to project the height of the effect, whether you want it high or low. You're just gonna have to, you know, play with the hinges there. I got my Andrew Garfield signature pose going on here, and one thing I gotta point out is that I like where the forearm swivel starts, because it's right at the wraparound point on the gloves here. So I do like that a lot. And honestly, Spider-Man is the type of character that benefits from a forearm swivel, because if they were smart enough, there was just a missed opportunity here, but not so much for McFarlane Spider-Man. This is more going forward with future Spider-Man figures. But the benefit comes from sculpting a web shooter on there. You know why? Because if I twist the forearm, I can then align the hand right where that web shooter is. So one thing I really liked about the 12-inch Spider-Man figure was it had a web shooter sculpted on it. However, no swivel. So like it wouldn't come out natural whenever you did a web shooting pose, because it's only on this side. So if he had the swivel, would have been able to turn it around this way and align the hand with the web shooter. They could have done it if they wanted to, but instead they sculpted wrinkle seams around the wrist there. But it's not a hard job the next time they want to do it, because all they got to do is sculpt all new forearms with it and sculpt the web shooter on there. I really like these web effects, and I've seen a lot of people complain in the community about it online, like, whoa, what am I going to do with these web effects? Like, bro, come on, seriously? It's Spider-Man. That's part of his abilities. Stop being an idiot and use your freaking brain. Like, this web yank accessory right here, I could just plug the end tip right here on one of these, through one of these holes, have it sit right there on top of the closed fingers. Bam, what do you know? Look at that. Just made it useful. See? Just gotta be creative with it. Have fun with your toys. I mean, the one through the hand might not look straight right here, but again, just play around with it. Like I could insert that piece right here through this hole. Now it looks seamless, and if you want to use it to web yank somebody, like boom, there you go. There's your pose. So I really love this ball jointed neck. As I said, you can move this around pretty freely. It's one of their best ball joints they actually worked on. But I wish he was a double ball peg at the neck, because it's the disc hinge on the back right here. I don't know why they did this. Why would they go with a disc hinge? They should have just done the whole thing as a double ball peg, so that way we get more pivot for the neck area at the top right here instead of the lower neck. It would have made such a big difference. Look at the difference in terms of the neck. Like, I know it may sound like I was complaining earlier that this guy had the disc hinge. I'm not opposed to the disc hinge as long as it looks good, and you know, they made it look good here with the ball socket. I'm just saying I prefer a double ball neck peg. However, nothing is bad as this neck. Look at this, man. That neck gap was terrible, and as you look at it on the side, it just looks like his freaking head's getting decapitated. So this one is just so much better and much easier to look at. I know this one I said has oversized feet, freaking maximum feet, but comparing it to Renew Your Vows, I like the shape of these feet more. As you can see, Renew Your Vows has a more triangular shaped toe, and this one has the square tips. But which shape do you prefer on your figures? Another thing he should have had was that import style of the 360 rotation at the shoulder. You know, I like that they did it for the MCU Wolverine, where you could shift his arm up and down and, you know, just rotate it around. That should have been done here for sure. But other than that, bro, I really can't... I can't find any reason to hate this thing, man. I really can't. I'm loving it, even despite its flaws. Like, this is what I've been wanting for a Marvel Legends Spider-Man for, like, the longest freaking time. And I just really like the build to this thing. You know, comparing him to the Renew Your Vows, I like that he's smaller, you know? Because I felt like Renew Your Vows was way too big for him. And let's face it, it was overrated. Overrated, at least for Spider-Man, but other figures is fine. Like Daredevil, that's fine, you know, because again, he's really freaking bulky. And this has been my favorite classic Marvel Legends Spider-Man to date, is that Amazing Friends one. I just love the blue. And I feel like almost with the first issue of Mafix, where it had that kind of metallic blue hue, I feel like we get a little bit of that somehow. Like, I don't know, it kind of shimmers in some areas. Maybe it's just my lights, but I like that for a McFarlane Spider-Man. You know, I like that. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with head swaps because the webbing pattern is just so close and tight. It's not gonna match any of these, you know. But I will bring out a Spider-Man I do like. I fuck with Spider-Man Beyond. I really do. I don't know if you don't, but I do. He's got that kind of close, tight cobwebbing pattern. But I'm going to pop the maximum head on here and see how that looks on Spider-Man Beyond. Not that bad. I dig it, actually, because it kind of works with the cobwebbing pattern here. And let me see if this webbing effect works for this Spider-Man. Yeah, it does. Oh, damn. Hand's a little bit on the small side, but, you know, if you're going to use it for the effect in the photo and no one's going to tell. See, I really, really like these effects. Now, if they can do... Oh, my God. Imagine this in the black suit. If they do the black suit, I would love something like this, but with the fists and the effect being on top of the web patch. Oh, that would look so dope. That would look so dope. Yeah, you know, a black suit. It's bound to happen. And I hope they sculpt the spider logo on the torso and give it a nice, you know, blue shading, but they gotta sculpt the logo on it and not just paint it. I mean, it's $50, man. They gotta put some effort and differentiate it with this one and not make it a straight up reuse. Like for this, they should have sculpted the cobwebbing. They should have sculpted and painted it. But I'm okay with that. As long as he has the cobwebbing paint, I am okay with that. I did a swap with the Ben Reilly Sensational Spider-Man, and I think it looks great. I like this a lot. This doesn't work, but, you know, I wish he had a third head that wasn't Peter Parker. I wish it was another Spider-Man head with a different expression, because we're always getting happy Peter Parker heads. Like, bro, Peter Parker isn't supposed to be happy all the time, man. Like, when are we going to get, like, a rugged, mean-looking Peter Parker head? You know, that would be great for the symbiote, but not even just that. Like, make him look a little more depressed, you know? Make him look like he's going through some shit. So, yeah, they got to switch up the Peter Parker heads there. All right, so, again, it's really hard for me to find something to hate on this guy. I can't, because I'm genuinely enjoying this figure so far, and so far... Mwah, chef's kiss. All right, let's wrap things up here, and we'll start with the bad. I know the price is what everyone harps on, and I'll agree that it's not a $50 figure. It's $40 at best. No way does the amount of plastic on all the accessories included here equate to the proton cannon of the Retro Iron Man, which was a $40 to $45 figure. You'll still get those little annoying Hasbro-isms for the $50 price point, such as gummy areas at the calves, forearms, and where the bicep meets the deltoid. For $50, I should never get gummy bullshit. Then the back spider logo having the top legs painted on the shoulders, that ruins the emblem completely. They were better off not painting anything on the shoulder joints at all and let the logo be as is. So again, these are the Hasbro-isms that I'm talking about. Also, the feet are gigantic for his body, but the rest of the proportions are McFarlane accurate in my opinion. They're great. Then there's the legs, which doesn't do a natural full split, even though there's a workaround. For $50, I shouldn't have to find a workaround for it, and it should just do a functional split, like without needing to open up the hip area. They just needed to do the hip area properly like Jada Toys does it. For the good, I love the accessories. I like that I get more accessories with this than the Mafex. They both have similar pairings, like having 3 heads, 6 pairs of hands. Although while Mafex has the magnetic hands and feet, which is useless to me as I won't have Spidey displayed on my frigid door, this one has the pair of web shooter cartridges and bare hands, which are more useful to me. Mafex has a loose mask, which I wished we got here too. I know I can use the VHS one, but it won't match this mask. However, we get the spider sense effect with this one, and that's the better choice, as I'd rather have the ability on display over a mask accessory. Mafex has a figure stand, and this has an accessory stand. Mafex has 6 web effects, and this we get 7. So I do like this a little bit more over the Mafex, which I knew I would. As much as I love the Mafex one, I did have QC issues with it. The elbows and knees dislodge easily. I know Hasbro has its QC issues, but so does Mafex, and I'd rather deal with some gummy joints with the figure still functioning rather than one that breaks easily from fragile plastic quality. But I will say Mafex did improve their plastic issues over time, but they still have some ongoing QC issues. I'm comparing it a lot to Mafex, as that to me was my favorite classic Spidey figure. I don't like Revoltech's clunky anime aesthetics, and while Sentinel did a great Spider-Verse movie figure, I'm not into the movie figures. Comics is my jam. This figure's aesthetics captures McFarlane's depiction to the T. Yeah, the articulation at first sight looks like every other Legends. Nothing has changed but the lower neck ball joint. However, it has been upgraded in certain areas for the better to get more range where it matters. So overall, I'm rating Maximum Spider-Man a 10 out of 10 total awesomeness. I wasn't looking for it to be better than Mafex, Mezco, Hot Toys, or whatever other brand made Spidey in his classic suit. I was only looking for what it brings to the table for Spidey figures in this line. It gave me what I was looking for, and that's to be the GOAT of Marvel Legends Spider-Man figures. And it is. It may be a hot take, but I don't give a shit. It's my opinion and my opinion only. You want your own opinion out there? Then go start your own fucking channel. This is the better Legend Spider-Man figure from top to bottom and all around. The $50 price tag made almost everyone a negativity grifter, but honestly guys, I've paid way more for that on Spider-Man figures before and got way less value in terms of either accessories or functionality than what's offered here. I can't hate on it, even if I was looking for reasons to. You know, I was speaking to one of my good friends the other day online playing Marvel Rivals. Shout out to Friendly Neighborhood Collector on Instagram. And he told me, you know what, Manny? I'm looking at all my classic Spider-Man figures in my collection. And honestly, if I can only choose one to own, this is the only one I'll ever need. And I said, you know what, bro? You're right, because this is my dream McFarlane Legend Spider-Man figure I've wanted. Won't need another, but now this has reignited my love again for Spidey figures, which sparked an itch that is making me greedy now, because since we got the definitive Legends McFarlane Spider-Man, I'd still love to see a definitive Legends Bagley and Romita depictions. But to end things here on a high note, I had to buy another one because I'm gonna end up beating this one up and wear out the joints until he has spaghetti legs. I'm just having endless amounts of fun posing this guy around, where I feel like this is the closest in accessory count and articulated mobility to an import we've gotten in this line so far. With some more vast improvements, if committed, they should be there in due time. It may not be worth $50 on paper, but my God, is it worth the fun on hand. I know it has its flaws, but I still rated it a 10 because while it's not perfect, it is perfect for me, and that's what I cared about. Now I kick it back to you. Is Maximum Spider-Man up there with your favorite Spider-Man figures, whether it's Legends or Imports? Would you like to see a McFarlane symbiote version to go along with this McFarlane Classic? What's the next Maximum series figure you like to see next in the line? Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thanks for watching another Marvel Legends review. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xman87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace, peace.